Welcome to Nerd Wars! So happy to be here Thursday night with all you guys, all you cool cats and kittens. I'm Andy Signore. Happy to be here live, doing another Nerd Wars Demonetized, opening up the party line, and arguing about some of this week's best movie, TV news. I know there's not a lot of news. We're all stuck at home, but it makes it such a nice thing to have all these people with me. What's up, everybody? I feel like I'm in the Brady Bunch. Hey, everybody! Hey, gang! Hey. We got a lot of special guests here. So happy to have. We got Chris, my man Chris, who is helping moderate tonight's show as you guys come in the chat room later. Welcome. Thank you, Chris, for all your work getting a Zoom. We're trying Zoom tonight. Some Zoom meetings, so thanks, Chris. We got Rob. Welcome back, Rob. We got Maggie. Hey, Maggie.
Hi.
We got Dipset Tap Notch, my big donor, my first donor on both platforms. He's coming out. He's been helping us with our Discord. We're going to drop that information tonight. And we got a Don and Damien. What's up, fellas?
Hey, how's it going?
Dude, I'm so happy to have you all as we try not to overtalk as we have this Brady Bunch set up, but we have a lot of fun topics, and you guys at home, you get to help dictate what we're fighting about. This is how this works. If you see down below, we got the new Streamlabs. I should have it up here. Wait. If you guys go to streamlabs.com, you can offer and interrupt the show with those things that you see down there. So if you give it it'll interrupt the show, add a robot voice, and hopefully you don't mess up too much of the flow. But if you give $15 or more, I'll let you, because that's what funds this channel, baby. Other than that, you'll show up as a visual. But that way you guys can get involved in these fights. After fights, get involved, say your statements. If you want to be involved and help this happen, you can. And as we go, more stuff's going to happen as we become, you guys become members. I'm working on ways to get you on. And I'm hoping I have a guest fighter, someone who helped me fund Cactus. I'm trying to get him on. You guys can definitely be part of this crew. We're going to go to Twitch afterwards, where some of you can sort of audition to make the main show. But I'm excited to fight with all you guys, get some real Nerd Wars going, make this more looser, more fun, go through headlines, have a lot of fun with you guys. So anyway, I see a lot of you in the chat. So nice to see all the members in there, all the mods. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Thursday night. Let's get to this first topic, shall we? Before we do, let's talk about this. Who wants to help me? Do one of you want to plug the Discord? It's a good place for you guys to go actually become a bigger member. So I should also, if you drop a chat, I'll make sure you're modded. I don't even know if you are modded in there, Dipset. You are okay. You should drop the Discord invite. If you guys aren't already on Discord, you should come join us there because we're doing a lot of fun stuff, creating an awesome community, and we're building up some cool rooms where you can chat with us all the time. Want to tell them something? I'm just Dipset. Come on, give me a cleaner. Dipset. I'm gonna call you Dipset. Not use your real name. Dipset. Tell us about the Discord that you've been helping set up with the guys.
So pretty much, yeah. I mean, it's a Discord that we created for everyone to come in and just enjoy everyone's company, talk about comics, movies, video games, whatever sparks your interest. I mean, it's growing. We have about 70 or so people in there, and the more we get in there, the more it'll grow, and just get as much as people as we can. So pretty much we just posted the link in there for you guys to be able to join it. And yeah, just come in. We're setting up actually a debate competition in the next couple of days. Me and Chris, I think that's it. Yeah, Chris, yep. Me and Chris are going to be setting that up. So you guys can come in, get set up, and we'll hopefully be able to get you guys going with that. We also have some good things that'll be happening on Twitch also after this. So make sure you guys stick around for that.
Yeah, very excited. Love this crew who's been helping step up and force me to learn Discord, because it's so fun because we can talk all the time. We can have Nerd Wars all the time. So if you guys are like, man, I wish I could do this more often, and a place when you're bored, you got a community you can now grow. Let's grow this together. I'm so excited to do this with you guys. So thank you for watching. So now let's get back to the main event here. I got the whole panel here. So we're going to do this main event. You guys can suggest others. I got some headlines we'll go, but there's one main one I want to talk about, and that's this idea of, should we be canceling Ezra Miller? Should we be replacing Ezra Miller as the Flash? Let's get into this. And there's a lot of feelings in there, but there was only one really person who was wanting to go against me and my opinion on this, and that was Damien. So Damien, I'm gonna have you step up into the ring first. Damien, my man, are you ready to do this?
Yeah, man. Let's talk. Let's debate.
Let's debate this. Now, everyone else watching, you can help judge this with us, because I'm gonna fight Damien in this, because I love to get my hands dirty too. And I know this is probably an unpopular opinion, but I'm gonna say they should not replace Ezra Miller. I have a reason why. I'm gonna get into it, but just so we're clear, I'm not all for canceling him yet. I don't feel like there's enough there to sort of say, yeah, get out of here. I do have a suggestion, but I say no to replacing Ezra Miller. Damien, where do you stand?
Here's what it is. We don't have enough Ezra Miller to really miss him, anyways. So I'm thinking that if they're not going to give me my Henry Cavill, then why should Ezra Miller get his film? I'm sorry. At the end of the day, something hasn't worked out for these people, and I'm like, yeah, no, he was I. So I'm ready to have someone who's more Flash-like.
So your reason for this, even more beyond just the video that came out of him doing that incident, your reason for getting rid of him, that has nothing to do with that.
See, okay, so people want to bring up that incident, and there was debate, and I even saw it on this show how you guys broke that down. I'm not 100% convinced that was just absolute abuse. You know what I mean? I'm not convinced 100% that was something that wasn't blown out of proportion. So I'm basing it off of what he's done in the films, and stuff like this happens with celebrities all the time. Whether they get falsely accused or they get seen doing something that's stupid, and then all of a sudden Hollywood wants to cancel them from their whole thing. I'm like, screw that. Let's cancel him on what's really needs to be canceled. Let's cancel him on his performance as a Flash.
You don't like his derp run? Come on, as Jody taught me.
He did. Yeah, I do not like have a good swimming.
So all right, so long we're clear, that's where we're at, because I don't want to cancel him just to cancel. I don't like this. Cancel him. If we don't like him as a Flash, it's another reason, but I still don't support that. So let's get to it. Here's my problem. We need to reset the DCU. Right? We need to reset it in a way that finally sets it in a better path. That's my opinion. I feel like people who want to get rid of him clearly agree too. The Flash is a character that can finally allow us to do that. So no, you don't cancel him. You don't recast him. Well, you sort of do, right, Damien? You got to keep Ezra Miller in the beginning of this Flash. Have him go do whatever he's going to do, and then you have to have something go wrong in the Speed Force, and when he comes back, new Flash. That's how you do it. But you got to keep Ezra Miller in for a very good reason of finally putting that crappy Justice League, that crappy Flash, all of it gets reset and it officially canonizes, well, we get to keep some of it, we get to not throw out the rest. And what a brilliant opportunity to sort of say, you know what, Ezra, yeah, we're going to give you the shot, but then, maybe you'll show up someday in another Earth. Yeah. But, we're going to have this happen. I don't think he'd do it. He may be contractually obligated to do it, but as a fan, I want to see them finally clean up the mess, keep him, and give us another one if they're going to do it. I don't believe and support and just like, cancel him because of the video, cancel him because he was a bad Flash. Look, he didn't really have a good opportunity. He was in one movie with that Joss Whedon came in and made it jokier and added. I heard that scene where he falls on Wonder Woman was supposed to be even creepier, and Gal Gadot's like, I don't want it. What are we doing? So I say give him an opportunity, but then leave him in there as a maybe because we Flashpoint his ass. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so in other words, you're agreeing with me. We were recasting him after Flashpoint.
No.
Or we're recasting him during Flashpoint.
No, he's a new Flash. He's still Ezra Miller Flash, and he went back and changed himself. You want it? You're saying get rid of him out of the movie. You got to put him in the movie. You got to have him as a continuation.
Okay. So you're having him in the opening credits? I'm trying to understand this. You're going to basically.
I don't know. First act, somehow maybe 2 acts, and then he's gone. But he's in the movie. You got Ezra Miller's Flash has to be in this movie. Do you want Ezra? So are you saying you agree with me, or are you?
He's also on Crisis on Infinite Earths, and that didn't look so good either. So
perfect opportunity to bring Grant Gustin in. That's my point. You got to keep him around. If you just recast it, then you're just ignoring everything, and it's adding to more the confusion because Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman is still in this universe. You need Ezra Miller to bridge between the two new things that they're trying to do. It's the one opportunity they can finally do it. So no, you can't replace him. You can't remove him from the movie. You have to use him, and then you can creatively work with him to make another Flash.
No, you don't. That's what Black Adam could do. See, Black Adam is also going to be working with different, the old original Justice League from the past, and then meeting with the new Justice League of the future. Black Adam does multiple worlds. We've already seen kind of a multiverse through his doorways. So he could just come back and emerge, and we get Wonder Woman and everyone else, and someone runs in, and all of a sudden it's someone else, not Barry, not Ezra Miller. It's a different Flash, and Wonder Woman's like, "Who are you?" And Aquaman's like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "Guys, it's me. I'm Flash." Never see the new guy. Never see the old guy. Just Ezra Miller never has to show up because we have Black Adam to help us with that. We have a multiverse already established. And honestly, the only two people that we care about and that we know that we're going to get is Gal Gadot and Jason Momoa. I mean, they recast people all the time in the middle of series. You know what I mean? Batman got replaced one film after the next, you know, with Tim Burton. And we didn't go and sit there and go, this is a different universe. It was the same Batman. We never felt like it was a different universe. It was always that
but
Michael Schumacher.
But sure, I hear what you're saying, but you can't replace everybody. We already lost Superman, clearly. Batman's now Robert Pattinson. There's so much sort of, we're keeping this, we're keeping that. I saw someone comment, Flash doesn't change himself. He can age. Ezra Miller's young. You could cast a much older actor to be the older version of him. You could figure out a way to justify the sci-fi of it. Sorry, I don't buy. That's BS. There's a creative way to adjust that. There's always a way to make it happen. I agree.
I'm agreeing with you.
There's a way to do it. But my point is just like I think they have this opportunity to allow it. So I guess I'm cheating a bit. Yes, I'm still replacing him, but I don't think it's right, because why are they replacing him? Clearly this video. And so therefore we've just canceled him as a public. And we've said, no, get out of here, Ezra. We didn't like you. Oh, and you're a jerk, apparently? Yeah, get out of here. I don't know. He never really got a chance to do his Flash. And it seems clear he's very adamant about trying to do that, working with those writers. And I think it was John Francis Daly, whatever, one of the writer-directors who was on it, apparently even did some tweet that was like, can someone verify that, Chris or somebody? He tweeted out, John Francis Daly, I think is his name. One of the writers or directors who's supposed to be on it was like, well, I guess there's creative differences. Or so, he put something out there, like sort of everyone's implying, yikes, I guess they are going to try and replace him. So the writing's probably on the wall that that's going to happen. But I don't know. I think clearly it's because of the video. It's not because he's a bad Flash. Because that's my other problem of like, was he really the bad Flash, or was it just a bad movie? Do you know what I mean? Could Ezra Miller actually do a good version of the Flash? Maybe.
Again, I mean, that's like saying, could Henry Cavill give us a full feature film of the Superman that we wanted, that we saw in Justice League? Yeah, we know he can. We've seen it in his other films. Could Ezra Miller pull it off? Sure, but I think that the way that what we'll end up having an Ezra Miller cameo, which I don't want. I think that's going to only confuse the casual DC fans. People like us, yeah, we'll get it. But right now, even in the chat, they're like, "Does Flash change himself?" No, chat. I'm just saying, just to put this in the argument, it's a different person who is also Barry in another universe. He just looks different, just like they did in Crisis, just like they do in other things. He just looks different. He's like, "Oh, your mom married this guy. Well, my mom married this guy," and it's the same thing, and their names are the same. So it can be done. Elseworlds and multiverses do that kind of stuff. Now, to go back to what you're saying, is that no, I don't want to cancel anybody. Again, I don't know the legalities and what the end results of what that whole video was. All I know is that it came out, it was bad, it was blew up, made them look bad, and now of course everyone is very quick to distance themselves. I don't think that's the reason why I don't want him on this next film. I don't want him on this next film because I don't think, okay, when Jared Leto became Joker, people did not like his take on Joker. A lot of people didn't like certain aspects of him. And this Barry doesn't do things that the normal Flash that you see in the cartoons and you see on the TV show does. He's not as comedic. He's not as whimsical. He doesn't have those Flash-like qualities. And this swim thing needs to go. I don't want to ever see this again.
I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. That's fair. But look, I don't believe that I don't believe that he was that bad. Aside from that, he was in a bad movie. Ezra Miller I feel like has done good performances. He was great in Perks of the Wallfire, The Trouble with Kevin. Like, Ezra Miller's not a bad actor. I think he has potential, and I think he really was passionate about this character. And so I don't understand why we're just saying, yeah, get rid of him. There's an opportunity here, even if you don't change him, give him another shot. You could always change him still. I don't understand why just because he had a run and because the movie sucked, we have to punish him. He was pretty good in Suicide Squad.
Again, the thing with Ezra is that, and the reason why I'm saying do not put him in the next, just to be clear, recast him or recast Flash, the character of Flash, for the Flash point or the Flash movie. You can get rid of him in another film. He can go back in time in another film. He could disappear in another film. He could disappear into the Speed Force in a different film. It's just a little non-thing. And then when we see our Flash movie, we have an actor or someone that we can really feels like our Barry. Now, can Ezra act? Yeah, I'm not taking anything away from the man's acting. I just don't think that with the DCU that they're doing what they're doing right now is, look, they gave us a different Joker and everyone accepted the better Joker. No one's going to argue that if you give me a better Flash, I'll accept the better Flash. Give me a Flash origin that has nothing to do with Ezra, and just like he did with the Batman, he did with the Joker, and then bring them together in another film. That's our new Flashpoint. And then we bring a Superman, we bring in Superman from another world and stuff like that. We get Black Superman. It's
Sure.
serious. If you're gonna do it, go for it.
All right. Final argument. Oh, and I got Gabe Kelly. Thank you, Gabe. Why didn't? Oh, because you super chatted it instead of you doing. Sorry, it doesn't pop up on screen if you do the super chat. I'll accept it. Thank you. But if you had done it on through streamlabs.com/popcornplanet down below, you'll get a fancy unlock, a fancy cool GIF and stuff. So that, guys, if you want to interact, you can put it there. But Gabe, thank you for the support. I love this channel and the community you're building, Andy. It's tons of fun, and I'm honored to be part of it. Peace and love, everybody. Off topic. Damien, favorite movie. Andy, favorite movie. That isn't Shawshank. I will get to that. But thank you so much for that big donation. I appreciate it. It means a lot. So I just wanted to acknowledge you. Thank you, Gabe. But final thoughts on this. I'll go first, and I'll let you have the final word, and then I'm going to bring in the quick panels for a 5-minute recap as we sort of figure out did anyone make a better point. I think we're being unfair to Ezra Miller. I think people are just mad because they hated Justice League so much. And yes, he had a bad run, but that could have been the director's choice. That could have been Zack Snyder's choice. That could have been Joss Whedon's choice. I think the guy clearly cares about The Flash. I think he's a good actor, and I don't support canceling people. I don't. Maybe Amber Heard, maybe, but no. It's tough. I don't really believe in canceling anybody. I think everybody has a shot to earn redemption back. And in this instance, nothing was filed, right? No, the accuser hasn't complained. There's no police report. Like I don't know what it is, and so I don't like what I see. But I don't feel like that should be justification that he should be removed from the movie, because there could be a lot more to it for that reason why they don't want to put it out there. So that to me is not the reason. To me, clearly the fans just don't like him and they want to replace him. And I don't think that is good for a studio to do, because it's caving into the masses and saying, yeah, they don't like him, so get rid of him. Let's just replace him. Now, granted, DC has a lot of trouble and there's a lot of stuff they should and need to fix. He was the least of my problems. Even Henry Cavill. Why are we replacing Henry Cavill? Henry Cavill, I think, deserves a better Superman movie and another Superman movie. So that to be focusing our energy on that one seems like a weird opportunity. Give him a shot, and if they really want to sort of redo it or have another option that can come in or out, then do that. Do what I said. Pitch the idea of, all right, cool, he's replaced midway with somebody else, and then maybe we depending on who we like better, that's who you keep. That's the beauty of the Flash, is you can really do anything. You can reset and do whatever you want with the Flash, and it's the opportunity to finally reset the DCU to get into there. So that's my reason why I think it's not a good move to cancel. Final thoughts, Damien, then I'll open up to the gallery.
Man, with so many points, I'm glad I just started drinking. Okay. All right.
Cheers! Woo!
I know, right? Last time that the studio caving into the masses like that doesn't happen already, it happens. Not canceling someone because of something, I agree with the not canceling part, but that's not the reason why I'm saying that we need to replace them. I mean, and then you're right. If they're going to replace someone and they replace Amber Heard, then there's just don't replace Ezra for the same. Amber Heard has some videos and some talks with her and Johnny Depp, and this guy's got a video as well. It's none of our business. We shouldn't be making decisions based on some people's personal lives unless they're causing grievous crimes, but we don't know that yet. So just based on what we have, we've switched superheroes in the past. And out of all the superheroes that I don't want replaced is the Henry Cavill. I could lose Ezra. I'm like, if I had to sit there and if you had to fight, who would you rather have, Ezra or Henry Cavill? Anyone in chat, anyone on this panel will probably sit there and be like, yo, I'll take Henry Cavill all day. Peace out, Ezra. I mean, no one's going to miss Ezra as a Flash. I don't think that we have to give him an entire film. What you're proposing is basically a cameo at the beginning of the film, maybe 6 minutes.
Could be longer.
Max. No, you spread 2 minutes here, 2 minutes there, and then he's flashy, pointy, and all of a sudden he emerges and he's another dude. It's okay. They're not going to worry about that. Or they'll just do what they did with Batman, and they're just going to replace him. Like, if, again, speaking of Amber Heard, just because you brought her up, if in the next Aquaman some other chick was playing her role, I'm not going to hurt. I'm not going to worry about it. If they replaced a character that I've grown to love, which is Aquaman, then I understand. I've grown to love Superman. I have not grown to love, and I don't think many people have grown to love Ezra Miller as the Flash. So there is no love lost there. Him being replaced could be done as a cameo in another film. I don't think that it should be part of Flashpoint, because if you end up making it part of Flashpoint, he becomes ingrained in the new universe that we're trying to forget. And that's what I don't want. I don't want him part of the new universe. He's now in the WB universe. God rest his acting character's soul.
All right, time. Good fight. All right, let's bring in the guys in the wings who are hearing us out. Who's Bravo? Yeah, thank you. Good job.
All
Good
right.
fight. Who's got a thought? Maggie, you want to share us your thoughts?
Yes, a little bit of cleanup real quick. Andy, you mentioned earlier Ezra Miller's great turn in We Need to Talk About Kevin, but it was referred to as The Problem with Kevin. So
Sorry,
just
thank you.
real quick, we need to talk about Kevin.
I love this true, real fact checking, but we have to call it something else. Go ahead.
Good. We did. All right. Real quick, offering my own opinion before I offer my opinion based exclusively on the arguments. Good job all around, clean fight. I will say I'm a little disappointed nobody brought up the MCU a little bit in this, which is still relevant. Obviously, don't want to get too dogmatic with our sides, DC versus Marvel, but Terrence Howard was replaced by Don Cheadle for the role of Rhodey,
Good point.
going from Iron Man 1 to Iron Man 2, and we even had that ending stinger where Terrence looks at the suit and says, next time, and we're ready for him to become War Machine. But he was replaced, not necessarily for something that he did, but simply because there was a new actor in the spot, and it was a very linear placement. It wasn't someone above or below him. It was fellow Oscar-nominated actor Don Cheadle, who brought honestly a lot more comedic flair and better chemistry with Robert Downey Jr. So I can't honestly say I missed Terrence Howard when we moved on with the Iron Man franchise.
That's a good point.
Based on the arguments exclusively, I got to give it to our buddy Damien. Damien not only brought up cancel culture and agreed with you that we shouldn't necessarily ruin someone's life or their career, but I think he got you by saying, yes, I agree with that. Here's why I don't like Ezra Miller as a character. Here's why we should move on and create something new. Even bringing up how Ezra Miller as a cameo would end up being confusing to people who are not necessarily super into superhero movies. These got to be blockbusters. These got to have mass appeal. So if you're getting into the nitty gritty with the deep lore, when that hasn't been necessarily established and completely changing a character in the middle of the film, it will end up being confusing. And Damien did point that out. Yeah, just all of it gets reset and we need a reboot. I got to give the point to Damien.
Totally valid. I like your analysis there. I accept it. Adon, anybody else? Did you have a thought, Adon?
I hate to say it, man. You agreed with him early on about how to change him out, and it was just fueling the flame. So you were giving him more power.
Yeah. As Jeremy Miller said, Damien's winning with those devilish eyes.
The smile
and like at first I was with you. I'm like, I know, like Ezra needs a chance. Ezra can redeem this if he gets a better writer, better script, better director. There's a lot of things that could potentially make him a better Flash. But then when you start throwing in, oh yeah, well, we could do a multiverse, and then we can introduce these other characters. I'll be honest, I'm not a big Barry Allen fan in general when it comes to the Flash. I want more Wally West, but that's the geek in me. So when I hear that, I see opportunity. I can see, okay, we could do different storylines, and we can rub them away by not even doing multiverse. You can disappear into the Speed Force. Thank you. And then that gives a gateway for other characters to introduce, because the Flash, just like with the Green Lanterns, there's more than one Flash. It's not just Barry Allen. So that brings up a lot of opportunities, and that just clicked for me. And I'm like, oh, there's so many opportunities now for other stories, really good stories that could be done too.
Good. All right. Fair enough.
And I also have to, real quick, bringing up gender equality. Damien made a great point in terms of female equality with the fact that Amber Heard has recently been accused with domestic abuse, and he revealed that he is not a hypocrite and he would not be opposed to Amber also being taken away from that franchise because he wants to see Aquaman, and she is more of a side character, just like Ezra Miller is within the Justice League, more of a side character. So.
Yeah, she's a tough one because I don't believe in cancel culture, but I really don't like what she did. I really, really don't like. There's more and more stuff that just proves like she's in trouble. Like there's now evidence to imply that she fake cut her finger to be able to get the restraining order against him. Like it's dark, and that kind of stuff. It's not okay. That is not okay, and it's never usually caught or talked about. So. it's not good when it's nobody's relationships, any of our businesses. That's what's so frustrating about it all too, because I hate even getting involved. But she made it public, and so now it's on her, and we have to be able to respond to that. Sorry, who was speaking?
Actually, I just to make a point to that. And again, honestly, no one should be canceled. But if they do commit a crime and then they're not allowed to work or continue a franchise because of said crime, then by all means, that is within everyone's right.
Correct.
So
yes.
It's just the difference between canceling someone on a rumor and just, you were committed of a crime, you were caught in a crime. So, and fraud is a crime. So.
Exactly. As I was saying, I don't want to be a hypocrite saying, yeah, cancer, but yeah, no, she seems like she's going to get caught in a crime, and that is a justified reason to get fired. Absolutely a justified reason to get fired. Well, there you go. We got Damien. You got the point. Bravo, Damien. I love it. All right. All right. So now it's time for another round. Let's take that question that we got in there. Let's go there first. And then if anybody else in the chat or anybody wants to join here, I want to do the Jurassic Park versus Dark Knight again. I see a lot of you guys getting in there. You're getting heated. How do we, so can you invite them to the waiting room, Chris? How do we invite them? Is that how you can do it?
Yeah.
The green room?
So
I would at some point let's do Gabe's question, but at some point if you want to invite some people or give a link into the green room, you can, or without give them into the whole show. That's what I'm making sure.
We also have an ongoing list of other questions that we've previously discussed and have just on block if the audience later wants to vote which ones they would more like to hear.
If you want to put some of those out, Maggie, in the chat, even go for it. If you're, are you?
I am technologically inept, but I will read them out.
Okay,
that's why they're written down.
Yeah, no, it's fine. But wait, Chris, you have a link to get them to the green room, yes?
So not necessarily. It'll be a waiting list, so they'll be there, and we can approve them or,
got it.
deny them to bring them in.
So if you guys want to, so he's gonna put a link out, but then we approve whether you come in the chat, and then if you're mean or annoying, we're just gonna boot you out of the chat. But it's I want to address Gabe's while we're doing that. If anybody want to tackle me, I think most of the panel here is on my side on this. Jurassic Park all the way. Wait, who is it?
No.
No, this is not true.
Oh, Adon, you're the. I thought we asked. So Adon, everyone else was right. I asked you guys before we went to air.
No. Dipset said no.
Oh, Dipset. All right, good. So I got some people. All right, good.
I also said that I earlier voted, but now would say Dark Knight.
Okay, great. Well, then I have a panel here. I was worried. I thought when I asked it quickly, I thought you did. I love it. I just want to make sure I have someone to fight.
I need a YouTube mod to copy that and paste it.
Send it to me.
Okay, great. So awesome. Do we have a fight then? Anybody else wants to pile on there? I will fight that to the death. I believe in that with all of my heart, and I will. Even though I lost the Twitter poll, I know why, and we'll go to it. But real quick, thank you, Gabe. Again, we'll answer your question, and if you guys go to streamlabs.com. /PopcornPlanet. You can donate throughout, and we'll answer your questions. We'll fight, and so on. And Gabe, people who donate enough, if you want to get in the party line, just ask. We'll get you in there, and you can definitely get involved since you donate. Thank you. But the question, Damien, was favorite movie.
I'm a simpleton, man. One of my favorite movies, and it's a hard question because I love different movies from different genres. Mm-hmm. But if I was going to go with my sci-fi horrors or my sci-fis is one of my favorite things, I'm going to probably say Aliens. That's like one of my favorite movies. I could watch that over and over again.
Aliens. Just so I'm clear. Good. Wow.
Aliens.
How come?
I loved Alien and I loved its pacing and everything like that. But Aliens it's just a fond memory. I love the practical sets. I love the big, I love the practical effects. I love the character dynamics. And it's Ripley coming full circle. I mean, she starts, as far as an arc is concerned, she starts, waking up with shivers and scared and sweat. And at the end, she's get away from her, you bitch. You know what I mean? Like it's a full arc, a lot of action, a lot of suspense, and it's just a really well made sci-fi thriller that I don't think has been matched since maybe Terminator 2. I mean, like those are the ones that are just like when you think about sequels, Aliens is like one of the ones that set the bar for it.
Mm-hmm.
Fair, interesting. I see, but I'm with you. I like Aliens a lot. It's a fun one, but I think Alien is the better film because it really sets up that whole tone and thriller and like build up. It's sort of redefined the sci-fi horror movie. But your Aliens is great too, because James Cameron identified the action sort of movie of it. So,
right.
But interesting. I would have thought of you, the horror guy, though. You'd be all into Alien.
Yeah, no, I love Alien, and I do. And it's like picking between your children. But when you look at Alien, it's like Star Wars to Empire Strikes Back. it sets it up, and George Lucas set up that world and everything like that. But then someone took those bones and then added meat and then potatoes and then some sauce on it and stuff like that. And that's what Aliens is. It's just a fuller meal. Alien is a great film, and it's something that most people can't get through. So it also hits on all those quadrants where everyone can enjoy Aliens. Hell, they don't even have to see Alien, and they can enjoy Aliens.
It's true. It's a good point. And then you asked for mine. It's aside from Shawshank, which is my favorite. I'd probably pick Airplane. Airplane sort of was just very iconic for me because it sort of set the tone for my humor. And it's weird. I suggest that movie a lot to Screen Junkies fans when they would ask, and then they'd always watch it and go, "It's not funny. I don't understand why you like it." And that is
Who the fuck said that?
That is the perfect segue into our next fight, which we're redoing. If you guys didn't watch it over on Jody's Corner. All right, there's too many people talking. If you didn't watch over on Jody's Corner, come on over and you can watch I think it was a members only. Actually, ended up being a fight. So Jody and I fought so hard to this Jurassic Park. Well, first he said Nolan was better than Spielberg, which was just blasphemy to me. And the only argument he has, well, Spielberg hasn't made a good movie in years. I said, sure, but you can't ignore his decades of movies prior. Then when it came into, I said Jurassic Park is better than Dark Knight, and that's when shit hit the fan and we went crazy. And then I put that Twitter poll out, thinking I was like, well, this isn't a no-brainer. And it was I'll read you the votes just because I will be honest. It wasn't close. Well, it was like 60-40, I think, is what it ended up being at the end of the day. Just to verify. So yeah, exactly. Final results, 60% picked Dark Knight, 40% picked Jurassic Park. And then I put it on Instagram just to attempt to have like a second, read. And that one, it was the same thing on Instagram too. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, go follow down on Instagram because I post polls and I'm going to be doing some strict live stuff. But I am still livid by this poll results. And I know a lot of you are in the comments ready to take it on. If somebody wants to help defend Jurassic Park, and clearly my colleagues here don't agree with me, so let's do this. We're going to spend a little bit of time.
I'll defend Jurassic Park.
Okay, good. I got Damien on my side. I got somebody here. All right, let's open up. I
saw. So surprised.
Why? I'll get you there. Yash, I got Grant. We got Adam, Fanjecture. We got a lot of you just popped in. Chris approved some new. We got some. Wow, look at this. Is. Oh, wait, sorry.
Hey, you got video?
Now we can have. Look at this. I got 10 people in here. Way better than strip. All right, so Dipset, you were saying. Let's start with you, Dipset, because you just said that I'm being crazy. Why do you? Go ahead. What was your question?
No, I just want to know, why are you surprised that people are picking Dark Knight over their first Jurassic Park movie? Like, Dark Knight is still fresh in people's mind.
Yes, I didn't factor that in.
And I do dare to say, Dark Knight really made people take a different look at superhero movies, period. Like, people were just like, oh, another superhero movie, okay, fine. But when The Dark Knight came out and the Joker and just the whole storytelling, it made people pay attention, be like, okay, wait a minute. Maybe we should really start taking a deeper look at these superhero movies.
So what is my reply to that?
So what?
So
That's
what?
not an argument.
So what? So, okay, comic book movies to me still aren't the best movies ever. I enjoy comic book movies. X-Men, Spider-Man 2. They were great superhero. Even I would argue Tim Burton's Batman all made strong superhero movies before Christopher Nolan did. So I don't understand what that makes it better.
The fact that the superhero genre is $1 billion franchise alone proves that if it wasn't for The Dark Knight, it wouldn't be where it is now.
I disagree with that. That was the MCU.
Can I step in here?
Everyone wants to step in. But hold on. You got to let. I'm starting with Dipset, and then I'll pass the baton. But just so I'm clear, you think The Dark Knight was really the only reason that happened? To me, that was Marvel that really made it the $1 billion. Granted, Dark Knight made the money, and it did really well.
But you needed The Dark Knight to make people really pay attention to the superhero.
Dude, Tim Burton's Batman made a fortune. You forget. Tim Burton actually defined superhero and took it seriously because everyone saw Batman as Adam West. I would argue Tim Burton is what turned Batman around. Nolan wouldn't have probably been able to even know. Tim Burton made Batman serious in movies. Like, how is that not true?
Really
Tim Burton.
Go ahead.
You go, Deb. Oh, Jinx. I would argue Tim Burton made. You're right, Andy. Tim Burton made Batman serious. Christopher Nolan made Batman a plausible hero to exist in today's world. Tim Burton made Batman serious. Christopher Nolan took Batman seriously.
I'm going to call bullshit on that too. I'm about to call bullshit on that too.
Well, Batman. Also, you're not listening fully to Dipset's argument.
But Batman is not realistic at all. Bullshit.
I'm
There's a
sorry,
lot
it's
of
not
disband or
realistic
disbelief
for
in
people
Batman.
with lots of it's not realistic for people with lots of money to take control over a city.
Well, no, I'm talking about Batman. His like, oh, I got this claw, I got this knife in my thing. Happen. Oh, I got sonar vision that can read itself. I can suddenly fly off a building. Give me a break. Look, it's definitely more grounded than most. I agree, but there's still a lot of suspending disbelief. It's not like perfectly like, oh man, Batman Begins. I agree.
I did not say literally that it could happen. I said he made it plausible within the world that he created.
Well, right, because he just because we put it in he put it in more. I would say X-Men did that too.
I would like to finish.
And Spider-Man.
Well, we're not talking about X-Men or Spider-Man. We're talking about Batman versus Jurassic Park. And if you're comparing The Dark Knight to other movies in the superhero genre, then why aren't you holding Jurassic Park up to the same scrutiny? Why aren't you comparing Jurassic Park to other dinosaur movies?
It's the best dinosaur movie.
Thank you, Master Penguin.
Done.
Okay, cool. So does the image of worst dinosaur movies bring down the image of Jurassic Park?
Name a dinosaur movie before Jurassic Park.
Land Before
Before Jurassic Park?
Yeah. I was asking Maggie, and you guys cheated.
See, I asked
cheated,
the question
Maggie.
First, and you followed it up with
But
another
you're
question.
making it sound like there were so many dinosaur movies. Would you have been able to name one?
Jurassic Park isn't a dinosaur movie. It's more of like a slasher movie.
Yeah, I would argue it's way more than dinosaur movie. I agree with Yash.
It's more like Halloween.
Okay, but again,
like
you're not answering my point. You're asking a tangential question.
Well, that's how the show works, Maggie. But go ahead. What do you? I'm confused. Hold on. Let me, Maggie. What is the question we're ignoring?
I was referring to Dipset's point that Dipset was saying that it was taking a different look at superheroes movies. It caused people to take a different look at a genre that's existed. You're right. Name another dinosaur movie that came before Jurassic Park. It wasn't. It did set the tone for other future movies, of course. But you know what? Batman had an uphill battle going for taking something so seriously. It had to answer to Batman and Robin and make people want to go to see a Batman movie and believe that it could be good, believe that it could be worthy of an Oscar.
But
that was unheard of in Hollywood. The Jurassic Park had universally beloved effects. It had a source material in the novel. And if you're familiar at all with the novel, it has better action set pieces that are put forth in the film. There's the fantastic sequence. There's the fantastic sequence of the river trip, which is what the Universal Studios ride was based on. The amazing Universal Studios Jurassic Park ride. Oh, wait, it was what it was based on until they redid that ride for Jurassic World and replaced the beloved animatronics and effects.
Hold on, Maggie, wait. Maggie, wait. Sorry, Maggie, wait.
Through your nostalgia glasses. It's good, but TDK is just better. Has better performances and better storytelling. Clever Girl is lame.
All right. Sorry. When you hear the noise, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but when you hear the noise, they've paid to cut us both off. But go ahead, finish what you were saying, Maggie.
If we're talking about what had a lasting cultural impact, Jurassic Park has clearly been replaced. The Universal Studios ride shows that hands-on.
The Universal Studios ride does not dictate a good movie, but keep going.
I'm saying it's replaced it in the term of public consciousness.
Yeah, with a newer Jurassic Park movie. There's not a Dark Knight ride anywhere. What is your point?
The Batman rides have stayed the same because they're universally beloved.
Which one?
The image of Batman.
There's no Dark Knight ride anywhere. There's a Batman DC ride at like Six Flags based off the comics, based off this Batman. What Christian Bale ride are you talking about?
Based off of
Batman.
Keaton's Batman. Yeah, it's my
my
roller coaster.
Six Flags owns the comics. They don't own the movies. It's the comics.
I'm not saying that they have a Dark Knight ride. I'm saying that because they didn't have to change Batman. We know Batman. We know the image of Batman. That's why it was an uphill battle. That's why it was an uphill battle for Christopher Nolan to create a completely new Batman.
See, and I'd argue
for Heath Ledger to create a more
there you go.
Joker.
I would argue it's not a Batman. Dark Knight is not a good Batman movie. It's a Joker movie, and everyone can win. Everyone can win because the Joker is fantastic. The Joker is fantastic.
There's not a single performance in the movie Jurassic Park that matches Heath Ledger's performance.
Well, but
There's
see,
not
but
a
but
single
but
performance of
one
Jurassic Park.
performance does not define a movie, Maggie. Is what I'm trying to say.
It can for sure. It can define a great
Okay,
movie.
can I reply? Let me reply to it because I'm trying to get my say. The problem is like it's one performance. Well, let's talk about the movie. Everyone gets hung up on Heath Ledger. Let's talk about Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger's phenomenal. You're right, Maggie. It's amazing. I love it. But dude, I'd say Jeff Goldblum is fantastic. He's not Heath Ledger, but no, what movies have a Heath Ledger performance? It's such a rarity to have a performance like that. I agree. Which one? A Knight's Tale? No.
Yeah, a Knight's Tale.
No. But my point is like, yes, I gave it that, but that's my whole argument. The Dark Knight is so good because of Heath Ledger. But if you take him out, which I know it seems odd,
just Ledger.
it's not that the rest of that movie falls apart. Harvey Dent's plot doesn't make sense. Why does he turn? Why does he turn? It's completely against his character.
Why is the security at Jurassic Park so bad?
No
Like,
way.
how does Newman like extract all the DNA? Like you can make that argument too.
But it's silly. We're talking about the real gritty Dark Knight. That's supposed to be all realistic with no plot holes.
Jurassic Park is pretty gritty in a certain way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
The T-Rex hits. It's gritty, but it also is trying to like switch up. Like it's a more popcorn movie, whereas like the Dark Knight is more of like a drama. Like all the elements that are in it, you can take seriously on every level.
Great
you know
point.
what I mean? And not to say you don't take Jurassic Park seriously, but that's what makes it a better movie ultimately. It's just those things that put it over the top.
Tag me in, Coach.
Hey, Mohammed, shut up. Get the hell out of here. We talked about it for a half hour. Why are you late, Mohammed? Jesus Christ. Mute that guy. Sorry, Don, what were we going to say? Or sorry, was that? Oh, it was Damien. Sorry, I can't see you when you guys are talking. Damien, go ahead.
So there's a few things that were just criminal to say. The fact that you said that Batman had a more uphill battle than Jurassic Park. Let's go back for a second here. First of all, it didn't have an uphill battle. We've not only replaced Batman, because you were talking about how Batman and Jurassic Park was replaced by Jurassic World. Batman was replaced so many times in so many different fashions in so many different ways. We're already on
the new one.
Batman.
We're already on new one.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, we're on
Ben Affleck, Robert Pattinson,
and Lego Batman, and it's
Batwoman.
You're proving my point. So it was an uphill battle to make your Batman stand out.
It was not an uphill battle.
Guys, hold on. She's trying to make it seem like, well, Jurassic Park doesn't work because there's all these other Jurassic Parks. You could say the same thing about Batman.
Jurassic Park reboot. There is no Jurassic Park reboot at all.
Yeah, it's a continuing story.
Yes, plenty of Batman reboots. Jurassic World is a sequel. All sequels.
Yeah.
Bad sequels to a fantastic movie that they'll never match. Yes, but go ahead, Damien.
About this uphill battles, you got to understand, there was no such thing. Industrial Light and Magic had to make the actual simulation and prove to Steven Spielberg that they can even make CGI dinosaurs.
Yep.
Ever since then, every CGI creature that has happened since then with muscles underneath it, that technology was developed in Jurassic Park. You wouldn't have Kong, Godzilla. You wouldn't have any of that stuff if it wasn't for Jurassic Park.
Revolutionary.
From an uphill battle,
100%.
They could not even make this film before Jurassic Park.
Right.
So,
everyone is saying that for sure. But
so
just because
there's
the movie's revolutionary doesn't mean it's better. The first
It
movie
is-
was sound was
But we're giving you
revolutionary. That doesn't mean
reasons.
It's better than the Dark
You're
Knight.
just knocking down every reason we
We're
give,
talking-
saying it doesn't matter, but we're listing our reasons.
Yeah, we're talking about point
Because
for
you
point.
presented
We're going-
your reasons first, and traditionally people respond to the reasons that they're presented
Right.
with in a debate.
So point for point. So I knocked down. I'm knocking down the whole uphill battle thing because as far as uphill battles were concerned, Batman has been redone several times before and several times after. So doing a new version of Batman is not
So
nearly
what?
as complicated as making a brand new franchise and bringing out something that has still stood the test of time. You have Jurassic World because of
Technically
Jurassic
not brand
Park.
new because it was based on the books.
You have even still. So you
Both are based
translated
on
the book,
books.
just like-
Cancel each
yeah,
other out. They're both based on
comic
books.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're both
I was just
based on
responding to the fact
literature.
that he said brand new.
The
Well,
Dark Knight's
brand
its own original script that takes influence, but Jurassic Park is completely just using Michael Crichton's novel.
And the Dark Knight is not. First of all, the Dark Knight is not brand
It's
new.
an original script.
Oh,
technically.
come
It's just
on.
using elements
Come
from the lore.
on. Original script, my ass.
No.
You don't get to
So,
claim
like,
either of those
your
movies.
ass. I would like to
You
hear
don't
your
get to
ass
claim.
entirely.
I've muted every. You don't get to claim either are original. They both lose there.
No.
Hey guys,
Well,
Grant
they're
has
not.
been sitting for a long time. I would really love to hear what Grant has to say.
Oh boy.
Did you have something to say, Grant? Go ahead.
So,
And name some themes. Oh,
Hold on, Yash. You're not Grant.
We will
It's-
thank you,
it's
yeah.
cool.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Grant.
Sorry. So we've been talking about like how many reboots Jurassic Park has, or I mean, it having none, and Batman having a lot. But what does that actually have to do with the quality of this singular movie, though?
I don't know. We're going
Oh,
off on so many tangents. I don't know what
We're
has to do with
gonna-
it.
We'll stick to that. So when you're comparing point for point, okay, The Dark Knight is a sequel, and it builds upon what we had with Batman Begins, and it is more of a Joker-focused movie than it is a Batman film. It is a great character study between Joker, and you get actually more of a character study from the film Joker, so you do get more Joker time, but you do have a great Batman film. There's nothing that we're not saying there's not a great Batman film, but when you're talking about film for film, franchise for franchise, pound for pound, Jurassic Park has not only was it the beginning of the franchise, it was not done before, so it was kicking it off, but it also has everything that you need in an actual classic, what they call the classic Spielberg films in the classic film.
Yeah.
It has your rising your characters that you cared
John
about.
Williams score.
Everyone, John Williams score. The John Williams score, and you could put
Shirtless
Williams
Jeff
in-
Goldblum.
Yeah. You have shirtless Jeff Goldblum. You have sexy Jeff Goldblum. You have, I mean, like those the scenes with the kids in the kitchen were just as dramatic and just as heart pounding then it is now. And that's another thing, that this film was done almost 10 years before Dark Knight, and it still looks as good. Like if you played them back to back in their 4K, it looks fantastic.
Those
I don't
effects
think-
hold up.
I don't think it looks as
100%.
good.
It does.
No.
Who says that? Yeah, it does it. You guys got to rewatch it in 4K. It is. First of all, they're all practical effects.
I have. I have.
Have you seen a
and
real dinosaur, Maggie?
I
Because
have,
I've been to a
yes, I'm
zoo and
actually
I've
a
looked at the.
Time Lord. I
I've
didn't
looked
wanna
at.
bring that into the conversation.
I've looked at
but,
a rhinoceros at the zoo and I'm like, that rhinoceros looks fake. I'm like so jaded by how effects are, but those effects in Jurassic Park are masterful. They absolutely hold up. What doesn't hold up?
See a doctor about your eyesight if you're confused about the difference between reality and CGI, but that's a different issue. I will say real quick, good point on us bringing up the reboots. I was bringing up the reboots specifically to talk about cultural impact and cultural memory and what sticks with us in terms, like we were saying with the technology. Of course, Jurassic Park was revolutionary with its effects, but the first movie that had sound was revolutionary. The first movie to use animatronics or puppets was revolutionary. But do we necessarily remember those films? Not just the name of them, but what they said, what they did. And even though Jurassic Park was technologically revolutionary, I'm not arguing that. Even though Jurassic Park had a beautiful John Williams score, one of my absolute favorites, I'm not arguing that. Even though Jurassic Park had a wonderful, I gotta have some fellow stands for this fucking ride in the chat right now. Wonderful ride that got horribly replaced in a garbage Jurassic World ride. Oy,
I never saw the new
so
one, but I'll
mad.
believe you. I trust you on that one.
Oh, look it up.
Because
Look
they have
up
like
a
weird
point of view
TV
ride.
screens now that like ruin the thing, right? Yeah.
They took away like almost all of the setting that that immersed you in the experience. Awful. But putting that aside, I think that The Dark Knight has better performances. I don't think that there's a single performance that can be matched in the Jurassic Park film that matches a singular performance of Dark Knight. Even I think Maggie Gyllenhaal is very underrated in the Dark Knight movie. I think she has a very much better than Katie Holmes' performance as Rachel Dawes. And besides all of that, I think the Dark Knight asks more difficult questions. It's the duality of man, of good and evil.
Who is man?
Jurassic Park has one singular message, and that is, should we play God? That is at its core.
And that's
all right.
not
That's its one
significant?
message.
How is that not
Do you wanna
significant?
play
Exactly.
God?
Significant. I'm not knocking that at all. I'm saying I love Jurassic Park, and that is a significant question. But The Dark Knight asks more significant questions. It asks, can we play God? What is good and evil? What makes a man good and evil? Who makes the rules in our society? What happens when those rules crumble away? What occurs when a society has their hope taken away? Is hope more important than truth? Like, can someone be crazy, or is someone crazy for believing that you can be sane? All of those are real questions that are asked within a superhero
For all people
film.
insane deep
Yeah, but
down.
it doesn't have dinosaurs eating lawyers on a toilet. Come on.
That is very valid, but you know
Hold on.
what? If you hold on, guys, you're on the right track. Adam, you're on the right track. Here's what we
Thank
need to do. We need to take this CGI from Jurassic Park, and we need to make the Joker ride a T-Rex and go fight Christian Bale's Batman, and he takes off
That's
the
sort of
Batman
Jurassic
mask,
World.
and it's Jeff Goldblum.
I mean, that's
I
sort
thought-
of one of the Jurassic World
You-
sequels. I'll give you
You
that.
pointed out all those philosophical questions, and I'm gonna do the same thing real quick, but a little faster. But I'm gonna do it in the Batman Christian Bale voice.
Why are we making life? What life?
Exactly.
Nature will find a way. How can we play God? DNA. Where did it come from? Okay.
That's not philosophical.
What is the Joker's goal? What is the Joker's goal in The Dark Knight also? Because I like it. I get it. But like, I know, but it's just like, does it really make sense? Or are we just so nihilistically excited about it? Are we just so nihilistically excited about that? We're just like, yeah, we have, oh my God, he's so right. It's so chaotic and he's there. Like, does that I have problems with? And then Harvey Dent, everyone's like, yeah, we got his wife died, it's blown his face off. Still, like, guys, the character of Harvey Dent was written to be like the perfect person who, no matter what, he gave in. And that completely ruins the character to me. And it happens so quickly. It happens so quickly. That's the crux of the whole movie.
It was way better than the Two-Face that we got with Tommy Lee Jones.
Sure.
Yes.
I'll give you that. That's not saying much, though. But come on. You guys are talk about my nostalgia goggles. Your Nolan goggles are like, it's not a perfect movie in any stretch of the imagination.
You know what's funny about
Go ahead. Adon, you haven't talked. Go ahead.
I am going to chime in here. There's
Yes.
a couple things that I have flaws with. Like, if we're talking about it, we've touched on this about revolutionary. For then, it's good. That's fine. We accept that. But it doesn't always hold up and doesn't always keeps everybody's attention. It is revolutionary all the time because it held that mark. But you can't use that as a staple to keep. Now, also to answer your question, can you name other dinosaur movies before Jurassic Park? Land Before Time, King
Aliens?
Kong. Technically not a dinosaur film.
No, but
Wait, hold on. Can I comment? Hold on, I need to comment something. I see you, JJ Smooth. Andy, lose half your face and your coochie in one night. I kind of did, guys. I kind of did. Lost the girl, lost the career.
Well,
I lost it all. And I didn't go murder people. And I also wasn't as good of a person that Harvey Dent was. So that's exactly my point. Even when I didn't have the conscious and the his whole mission in life to do good. You're telling me when he loses it all, he's murdering children? It makes no sense.
You're asking the right
He never
question.
murdered
That's
children.
the kind of question that the movie wants you to ask.
No, it doesn't
That's the
ask.
kind
It
of question.
forces that. It doesn't ask the question. It forces it.
In Jurassic
Yes.
Park, like his whole character is frustrating as hell too. Newman?
Oh, now you're just wait.
Trying to just
Everyone
get
just
at
ignored my
like,
point to go to
these real
Newman.
parts, that's not-
Newman's not as crucial of.
I didn't ignore
Hold
your
on,
point. I
Newman,
apologize.
Yash. Newman is not a good comparison to what I just said. Harvey Dent is the whole point of the movie. The whole thing stems upon Harvey Dent's turn. You can't then just say,
just
well, yeah,
said
but
Joker
Newman's
was.
dumb. I'll go there, but come on, you're really trying to compare Harvey Dent to Newman?
Yeah, we never
No.
talk
Well,
about Aaron
who I
Eckhart
will
ever.
compare is the park owner.
Aaron
I will
Eckhart's
compare the
underrated.
park owner to Harvey Dent because the park owner knew about casualties and injuries and so forth like that. And he's like, I don't care, you carry down the thing, and he still wants to keep the park going.
He didn't know about
He's
the
really
injuries. He didn't know. John
No,
Hammond.
was aware.
Well, John Hammond is a villain. I would argue he is totally a villain. His hubris gets in the way, and that happens all the friggin' time. He's a very realistic villain.
Yeah, he's a self-destructive villain. He's someone who thinks he's right. That's what.
But
he
Harvey
is.
Dent could arguably be that too.
No. How is he that way in the beginning?
His hubris leads to his downfall when he gets captured in like the truck scene. He's like, "Oh, I know everything. Like we can cast a Joker, but the Joker's one step ahead." And that's the brilliance of the movie when you see how the Joker is kind of like putting a mirror to everyone's like aspirations and just like throwing it down on the glass and just like breaking it apart. Like that's the whole point of that character.
And
Harvey
also-
Dent.
also-
Harvey Dent was so good, he would have said no to the Joker. But go ahead, Grant. I just wanted to say that.
I just wanted to say also, Harvey Dent was never this white knight that the whole city thought he was. The whole movie, they are constantly showing him making morally questionable choices, and they show in his character that he is someone who is damaged enough already and then Rachel was obviously just the kicker, but like they show constantly, I think, that he is a person who would definitely be susceptible to someone like the Joker turning him, like pushing him over towards that darker side.
Yeah, but
right.
you see, the
And I
thing is that
completely agree with you, Grant, but I want to add on, that's what makes the movie so fascinating. People say we don't remember Aaron Eckhart, and I would argue we don't want to. The thing that's fascinating about Heath Ledger's Joker is, like you said, Andy, he is nihilism. He is pure chaos. And Batman is pure good. He's the one who always has to fight for what's right and do it in a dark way, but still be fighting for good.
Yeah, but you
Harvey
see,
Dent is supposed to be the flip side, no pun intended, of Batman, the light, the white knight. But he's not. As was rightly pointed out by Grant, he allows himself to get more power by putting that image forth. But I believe in Harley Dent. That's his campaign slogan. He's trying to get farther and farther on that concept, but that's not truly evident by his actions. He is arrogant. He does have that within him. And that's the Joker's point, that these people will turn against each other. And then the movie takes that message. It takes good and evil, Batman and Joker. It takes half and half, Harvey Dent and Two-Face. And then it takes that two-sided image and puts a boat full of civilians and a boat full of prisoners, good and evil. And he says, you will destroy one another. He says, someone will want to save themselves and will condemn the other. It will happen. And we wait with bated breath.
No, we don't.
And we wait with bated breath.
No, we don't.
Oh,
Go ahead. Let's Adam. Adam's turn. Go ahead. Adam.
I wait with bated breath because I have asthma, and you all breathe fine. And then
hold on. Let's get Adam in. Adam, come on. I want to give other people.
We know exactly what's going to happen at that movie. We know that nobody's going to die. No one's going to get injured. With
except
Jurassic
for
Park,
Rachel.
No.
And
I'm
Aaron.
Hold on. Let him
I'm
talk.
About the boat scene that you just talked about, that we were waiting with bated breath. We weren't. We knew that nothing was going to happen between them, but we had no idea who was going to die in Jurassic Park. Literally anybody could have, and we saw people who did. We saw that Wayne Knight died. We saw Samuel L. Jackson die. We saw all these people get picked off left and right, and it was actually like so much suspense and horror in this action adventure movie, and it was so thrilling. Dark Knight, you kind of knew what was happening. Yeah, okay, maybe we didn't see that Rachel was going to blow up, but that was really the only like surprise in the movie where Jurassic Park was surprise after surprise and had you on the edge.
You
of
were
your
surprised
seat
in the movie where the dinosaurs get loose, that people
Yes.
are eaten by dinosaurs?
Yes, I was surprised.
Throughout Dark Knight.
I didn't care about a single character who died.
The kitchen scene had me like on
the pencil.
Yeah, hold on. Guys, it's for everybody. Hold on. Let me help mediate because now I have 10 people in the room and you all want to comment. So you got to like raise your hand and I'll see you and I'll come click on you. So wrap up your thought, Adam, and then I'll go through and see who's raising their hand and I'll click to you guys next. Go ahead, Adam.
Yeah. I have a lot of thoughts, but just for that specific one, like as far as suspense, like the kitchen scene alone, like the first time you ever saw that movie, you really thought that dinosaur was charging and was going to eat the girl. If you didn't think that, then I don't know what movie you're watching, because everyone in the theater, at least that I was in, thought that she was dead. You had no idea. And that's the brilliance of Spielberg and the filmmaking and the suspense of the whole movie.
I agree. And I'm going to get to the thumbs up, but I want to thank James for your comment. The point is the best of us can be turned with circumstances. Thank you for that super chat. Try and do Streamlabs, you'll interrupt. But yeah, I hear that point. But I get the message. I don't think they did it as well as everyone gives it credit for. That's just my opinion. I understand some of you do. And then I got your question. The Tony Corrent, thank you for that big donation. I love you too. I love that you continue this argument from the other day. Dan just announced that he's leaving Screen Junkies. Yes, I heard. I tweeted about it. I will talk all about it in our after show over on Twitch. So stay tuned. So I'll address it there. But let's stay on topic here. But thank you for the support that's coming in. And I saw Don, you had your hand up. Master Swag, I love you too. I see you in the chat. But you came in a little late. I have so many people here, and I want to wrap this up. We're going to do a speed round. Everyone gets a minute. Who I saw hand? Rob, actually. I see your hand first. Go ahead. A minute for everybody, quick. Your audio is off.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay. So there's many things. One, Harvey Dent got replaced by a white guy. From the last time we saw him was in Batman, the first Tim Burton movie. He was a brown guy, black guy, whatever you want to call yourself. That's awesome. But no.
30 seconds.
We knew that Maggie was going to die. Yes, everything was great with Jurassic Park, and it's phenomenal with that. But no, I think that Batman was the one that helped get a movie like Joker to be actually nominated in the comic book movies thought at as serious pieces of cinema.
You're saying Tim Burton's Batman?
No, Christopher Nolan's.
Okay, so you're giving Dark Knight the edge.
Yes.
Okay, I'm looking for hands. Who's got Yash? Go ahead. I see your hand.
Sorry, I wanted to make this point earlier. I just didn't get to the whole like for Jurassic Park. A lot of the suspense aspects, right? I'd say Jurassic Park is less revolutionary, and it's more like Aliens and Terminator 2. James Cameron deserves a lot more credit for Jurassic Park than he actually gets. because Terminator 2, I mean, in Aliens, all the scenes like with the Velociraptors are very much like the aliens, like the mini aliens going after the crew, picking them off one by one. And then the special effects, the VFX that ILM initially worked on with CGI with the T-1000, like that's kind of was like an evolution of that.
So you're telling me no other movie did Dark Knight's action sequences? I feel like I've seen them before in other movies.
It's not Dark Knight's action sequences.
Hold on,
you can
hold
say
on.
in 7.
The scene is okay-ish. A more tense scene was when Batman is charging at Joker with the Batpod while Joker is daring him to run him over.
See, good scene, but not as intense to me as because I knew neither of them were going to die. But the problem with Jurassic Park, I agree with Damien. What he says is like, you don't know. It's one of those kids could have gotten eaten.
But did you know Newt was going to die in Aliens?
Yeah, but we're not talking about that movie, dude. How is it?
It's very influenced by it, though, technically. And like 7 definitely influenced The Dark Knight, and like Heat influenced The Dark Knight. I'm not saying it didn't, but like when you see the way that they're doing the same thing, I'd say that Aliens did what Jurassic Park did better in a lot of ways. Terminator did what it did better. Did you think John Connor was going to die in Terminator 2?
No.
Yeah, so like you can make the same argument with Jurassic Park. That's all I was trying to say.
Fair. I don't necessarily agree with that. Don, I saw your hand up quickly as we wrap up because we could do this, and we will on Twitch, but I'm wrapping up our YouTube. So go ahead. You're muted. Sorry. There we go.
There you go. Okay, so definitely plenty of surprises of Batman. When they first introduced the Joker, the bank scene, the disappearing pencil, you don't know who's he going to kill. Yes, we all figured the girlfriend was going to die because that was a given, but I could predict everybody that was going to die in Jurassic Park. It's definitely Samuel L. Jackson. He was going to go. Everybody knew that was going to happen. And last point on this, the reason I picked Batman versus Jurassic Park is because I look at it this way. If I was going to stay up late and I'm going to break night and I want to watch a movie, I want to watch Dark Knight. That's going to keep me up. That's going to keep me entertained. That's going to keep me alert. When I watch Jurassic Park, they play that soothing music, that Jurassic, I feel like I'm watching Discovery Channel for the first half, and then I'm going to pass out. Much love for it, but
it's going to put you to sleep. All right, interesting debate. I don't know. I see you, Adam. I see you shaking your head. Go ahead quickly. I'll give you your last minute too, and I'll go through everybody.
Last minute thing. Okay. Jurassic Park changed the industry forever.
Yes.
Dark Knight. I love this movie. I don't want to talk crap on this movie, but it didn't even change the comic book movie forever. You talked about uphill battles. Batman Begins had the uphill battle.
Yes.
Not Dark Knight.
I was about to say that. I got distracted.
Batman Begins was. And if
Batman Begins, just to echo you, Batman Begins sets the tone for Dark Knight. Absolutely.
Right. Exactly. And if Dark Knight was such a game changer, then the third movie of the trilogy would have blown it up, and it just didn't. Okay, I'm sorry, and it's not one of my favorites, but the Avengers was the one that blew up the comic book industry. So it wasn't the Dark Knight. Jurassic Park changed storytelling and special effects forever. It's the superior movie. I will take the acting combo of Sam Neill, Laura Dern, Jeff Goldblum, all of them over the one singular performance. As great as it was, I'll take all of them over one actor.
Good. I like your thoughts there. Go ahead. Sorry, I see Grant. Go ahead, Grant.
Okay, so it is not one singular performance. I think Christian Bale, Aaron Eckhart, what's his name? Gordon, Gary Oldman.
I was going to say, better name his name.
Gary Oldman. They're all just as good as, well, maybe not just as good as Heath Ledger, but their performances were exceptional, and I feel like they got unnecessarily ignored because of how good Heath Ledger's performance was. And I think Jurassic Park may have had more impact, but I think The Dark Knight had some impact in the sense where like there were a lot of movies that came after that tried to be dark and gritty like The Dark Knight was and failed miserably, I think. But at least that's still like at least some kind of impact. And as for Jurassic Park, I think the impact that it did have on visual effects might not have been necessarily great. I think they may have taken the wrong lessons from that because there are so many monster movies that came out afterwards that just tried to look so much like the T-Rex from Jurassic Park.
Because it was that popular. I agree. It was trendsetter. But how does that, and I hear you, but how is that a knock on Jurassic Park? Just that it spurred copycats? That to me seems like proves that they're still doing it to this day. That it was that. How guys? My whole point, and I'll let you back, but my whole point is like that movie came out in 1993, and it's still resonating. Like that alone proves why it's reacted more. Now, look, I do believe a lot of the audience. You're proving me wrong. A lot of the audience just didn't watch it then, or it didn't affect them as much. It's like somebody who sees Die Hard. Like I have this point with my kid. I'm going on a tangent. I'll go back to you. I have this point where like I refuse to show my kids. I'm not going to let them watch any other action movies like Speed or all the Die Hard knockoffs until they've watched Die Hard. Because the problem is you're going to watch the copycats. You're going to see all these other movies, and then you're going to be like, well, that wasn't good. I saw that before. And you're not respecting what came before and actually did it right. And if a movie's old, sometimes you're like, well, that's an old movie, Dad. I don't want to watch an old movie. But that's the problem we're at right now. It's like, you got Jurassic Park to me still isn't an old movie. If you watch it, it feels still like, late 90s or it could be 2000. Like it still holds up in a way that it doesn't feel like it's from the 70s. And so my whole point is like, I just think everyone's saying I have nostalgia goggles. I don't buy that. I think you guys do because you're watching the more current. Yeah, Christopher Nolan is the best filmmaker of all time. Batman. Look, I love Batman. I got a Batman tattoo. I'm wearing a Batman hat. I love The Dark Knight. It was freaking awesome. But Jurassic Park, it's going to define longer. There will be other good Batman movies. The Joker with Joaquin Phoenix. Who would have thought someone would even come close to Heath Ledger? He just won a friggin' Oscar and we're all like, oh my God, it's amazing. It just proves that it wasn't that original. They just made another gritty Joker movie that I never would have thought they'd be able to do. And they did. It just proves the fact that it's not as identifiable. And I think as we go, years from years, you will all see my plight here when the kids come up and say, Dark Knight, forget The Dark Knight. I love the new Green Lantern movie. It really redefined the space epic. And you're going to be like, oh, and we're going to be in full circle. So that's my thoughts. But Grant, final words. Go ahead. Each of you have 10 seconds as we wrap up the show. Grant, what are your thoughts?
I guess what my last thought would be is I think in terms of cultural impact, we can talk about that all day long, but I don't think the impact something has anything to do with the quality of the writing or the acting, directing, or the actual film itself. And that's kind of what I was looking at.
I also want to say,
Fair enough. All right, Maggie, I'm coming to you. Hold on. Yeah, now you're on. Go ahead. You got a minute. Go for it.
I want to say I don't want to be pigeonholed as a Christopher Nolan fanboy. Anybody who knows me will
No.
say that I 100% can't stand 99% of Christopher Nolan's body of work. If you try to sit me down and watch Memento, I will punch you in the throat.
What is your favorite?
Don't even.
Is it just Dark Knight?
What is my favorite?
Yeah.
What is my favorite Christopher Nolan?
I mean, because you say that, I want to clarify. So do you like any of his movies, or is Dark Knight your favorite?
Dark Knight. Dark Knight 100%. Dark Knight with Aaron Eckhart, fucking the legendary posthumous Oscar performance of Heath Ledger, Gary Oldman, who there's not a single part that he can't nail, my Alfred, your Alfred, our Alfred, Michael goddamn Caine. And
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine. And let's not forget, because you're forgetting the brilliant score. We talked about John Williams' score, but John Williams' score is always on point. It's always good. And let's be real, Jurassic Park is not his best score.
It's up there,
I would
Maggie.
argue Superman has a better score than Jurassic Park. But Hans Zimmer in The Dark Knight, he grabs you by the testicles and will not let go. That is a very powerful score that carries the tone with it. And all these moments, I'm just getting pumped up reliving them. There are so many surprise moments that we were bringing out with. As soon as we talked about the bank heist, I replayed the bus coming through in the bank, and I'm like, oh,
you mean the bus when the
happening.
bus just pulls out and there just happen to be a shit ton of buses to go along, that yes, part?
Andy, because it's really important to teach your audience that pulling out can be dangerous.
Ooh,
anyway,
good one.
I got it's wonderful performances, wonderful score, wonderful cinematography, wonderful editing.
I don't disagree.
Sound mixing.
Just so we're clear, I don't disagree with you on any of this.
All around, it is a standout film, not just because it's a Batman film. It's a standout film. You don't have to be a Christopher Nolan fanboy to want to watch it. You don't have to wear nostalgia goggles. What am I saying? Nostalgia goggles to want to watch it. It is just a great film. And you can argue that Batman Begins set that up, sure, but I would argue that the Jurassic Park novel that was very popular
you could argue that Frank Miller set up both of them, right? I mean, they both had novels.
I argue that we all are specks of dust floating through space. It started with a Big Bang, but that's neither here nor there. We are all like none of us are original. None of these films are original. None of us are original. Everything will happen again. We will all die.
Everything's
one day,
a remix. Yeah.
But The Dark Knight, as the world is ending,
will be done
the
again.
sun fade out of existence.
It will be made again as good.
It will not.
Yes, it will.
It will be there standing lone. Our lone Dark Knight, the hero that Gotham needs right now, today, as the world ends.
Bravo. Myra, thank you, Myra, for the donation. It's a generational thing. Most of the new generational have seen Jurassic Park on the TV, not in the theater. Agreed. There's something about Damien. I'll go to you for your final because I think you'll agree with me on this. There's something about that scene when they're there and they're like, what's going on? And then they finally get to that first look where Sam Neill does that. And then the look up and the wonder and the John Williams theme come na 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 na, and they see dinosaurs for the first time, and the audience is seeing dinosaurs for the first time. It's like awe-inducing. It is, and it still works. It's just that idea that Michael Crichton wrote, which I gotta give him credit for. It's Spielbergian at his best, of just like hope, nature, all these conflicts. I will take that any day of the week over the nihilism of The Dark Knight, and it just breaks my heart that we're all doing Dark Knight, my Lord. Dude, Jurassic Park is so much better in just for me, so much better in just its hope, its optimism, but also just the downfall of man. It still has that chaos and nihilism in a way that to me is just even better, that kids can learn from. It's just, and it's a perfect script. Everything that happens in that movie has a point and a payoff. The character arcs, everything, it just does. And there's real shock and horror and surprise that really did. The lawyer getting eaten, and you're like, damn, they really did. And I guess when you got to go, you got to go. There's so many lines, playbacks. It's terrifying. It's fun. I showed that to my kids, and it was like a movie that they on the edge of their seat the entire time, and they hate old movies. It absolutely, you can say my kids, whatever, but that is a test. If a kid today who's 7 can sit and watch a movie and still be in it. Back to the Future was the other one they did. I've tried so many. Star Wars, they can't get it. Back to the Future, Jurassic Park, timeless, classic scripts. Damien.
I'm not gonna disagree with you one bit. Obviously, I think that Jurassic Park. See, one of the things that I noticed from all the arguments that I heard about The Dark Knight was there were some moments that they pulled out and some plots they pulled out. The tone of it is always going to be kind of dark because it's in the title. It has this darkness to it. The differences in emotions aren't as great as they are in Jurassic Park. But you know what Dark Knight's going to ultimately be known for? It's going to be known as that great Heath Ledger film. It's going to be known as that one Batman film amongst many other great Batman films, and it won't even be known as the only Joker film.
Because Nolan's going to be defined by his trilogy. I agree. You're right.
It'll be a great Batman trilogy, not even the best Batman trilogy, I believe. We may even get a better Batman trilogy from then. My point is that if you even look at all the other dinosaur movies that have come out since then, if you ask anybody, even with all their new CGI, they're going to say, well, which one of the Jurassic Park series is the better one? And 99.9% of all of them are going to say Jurassic Park, the original one, even over Jurassic World. And therein lies the difference, is that no matter what, out of all the other Batmans that come out in the future, Batman Begins may not hold the crown as the best Batman film of all time. All those beautiful actors that we picked out aren't even the best versions of their characters at the moment. Let's face it, people like Christian Bale, people love Ben Affleck, and people love Michael Keaton. So Christian Bale isn't even the most beloved Batman in his own film.
It's true.
So we're talking about, when we talk about characters that we love, people love the cast of Jurassic Park. There's the emotional highs and lows of Jurassic Park, and overall, Jurassic Park is going to be the classic that they talk about. And Batman Begins will be that great Christopher Nolan film with that great Heath Ledger performance, and everything else will just fall under the radar.
It's true, and they're coming back. All the classics are finally coming back for the finale of Jurassic World 3, which we'll see. All right, real quick, as we wrap up, we're going to go over to Twitch and keep this conversation going. I got 2 other quick things I want to say, and I'll get if somebody raise their hand if you got a really important quick thing to say. James Landor, Laura Dern is the weak link in Jurassic Park. A lot of her scene comes off as corny as F. Come on, Laura Dern was great. Ellie Sattler was awesome. She's digging through the poop. And then we got Myra. I got your comment, and there was one more I thought I saw. Sorry, I'm trying to get through. Was that it? Oh, there was one more. Generational. Oh, I guess I did. I guess I said that. Yes. All right. Oh, yeah. Bunda said it. The kids were not going to get eaten. I was just like, whatever, lame. When did you watch it, Bunda? I'm curious. You watched it at home later? Like, how old were you? Was it older? I'm curious if you were just jaded because you've seen movies like that before. That's a fair reason, then maybe. But it's like that movie John Carter, right, from Mars. John Carter from Mars is a bad movie because the book is really great, but it's because everything in that movie we've seen done better a million times. But I bet you if John Carter from Mars was the first movie you saw, you'd be like, oh my God, what a great, exciting movie. It's just, that's sometimes how movies work. And so that John Carter, I don't think even still is worth, but that's my point of just like Jurassic Park has that identifying feature, which I think a lot of people are saying I'm going to have nostalgia goggles over, but it does for a lot. But I think even if you take those off and show them to today to people who have no idea about movies, they're going to be more invested in Jurassic Park than The Dark Knight. They just are, because there's Dark Knight's part 2 of a franchise. Like, it's part 2. How does a part 2 beat a part 1 even just in that?
Aliens.
Aliens better. I'd argue. All right, we have the group chat. I'm going to thank everybody real quick. You have 10 seconds each. Chris, thank you for modding tonight, getting people in the room. Let's carry this over to Twitch. Rob, thank you as well for all your help as well. You'll be over there. Maggie, go ahead. Yep. And go ahead, Maggie.
Real quick, if you join us on Twitch, guys, you might hear some of these other arguments that we're going to open up to the group. Some of them are ripped from the headlines. Some of them are based on what we talked about tonight. What famous movie villain do you think secretly caused the coronavirus? What TV or movie group of friends would you want to be quarantined with? Can you come up with a better plot to Frozen 2? What MCU character would you bring in to replace the Flash? What is the most overrated successful blockbuster franchise? Based on the film Onward, which is out on digital now, check it out. What animated character would you want to partake in a quest with? Based on the Lizzie McGuire Disney Plus series that got canceled recently, what sitcom from your childhood deserves an adult sequel story?
Oh, yeah.
Based on the Megxit from England, what movie royal should be used to fill the void
With
that
Disney
Harry
princess.
and Meghan left in our hearts?
Disney princess, yeah.
Based on the recent medical situation, what TV doctor would you trust to put your life in their hands?
And I want to talk about
course.
and I want to do the Doogie Howser reboot.
And of course, what roller coaster ride based on a movie is your favorite? So
yes, and I'm going to get into Doogie Howser. Doogie Howser is being replaced, guys, by a diverse woman on Disney Plus. We're going to talk all about what our thoughts on that and so much more. I'm going to try and guys, real quick plug, and I'll go through. Become a member today, because I'm going to start adding more perks. We're going to do members only chats and watch streams. So if you aren't a member here on YouTube, you can go join at any of those levels. If you can support, if you become a member, you can hit join down below, and I'm going to start archiving some of these videos. The algorithm doesn't always let me post stuff, and sometimes that Louis C.K. one I did and others, when they're demonetized, I'm going to throw in my members who are supporting. So if you want to go get some exclusive stuff, join some watch parties and things that are brewing, don't forget to go click join down below to become a member here. I appreciate all the support of everyone who's done it. Dipset Top Notch, thank you so much for your help. Anything you want to plug or say?
Join the Discord.
Woo! Yeah.
Totally
Paste the Discord down there so you can have conversations like this all day long. Adon, Nerd Tots on YouTube, yes?
Yes, absolutely. And of course, keep following us on Twitch and see what's going on, guys. We're gonna be out.
Woo! Thank you for the follow. And I can't, was that a follow here on this channel or on Twitch?
I was giving you support.
Karenton, is that someone who just follow? I think those are followers on Twitch.
Oh, okay.
I think I turned that off. I don't know why if someone became a member, it would be a different thing. Yes,
guys,
thank you, Don.
Stop turning Andy on.
Damien, yeah, you don't care. You're just happy to be here.
Man. I'm here to support Nerd Wars, man.
He's the best.
I got my thing. I'm just here to show love. That's all.
Love Damien. Go show him some love. Yash.
What's good?
Good
Show
for
love,
you.
man.
Adam Fanjecture, thank you for having my back there. You had said some great stuff. Join us over there. Grant and Master Swag. Sorry we didn't get to you, but I had too many people already in the thing. But let's all go over to Twitch, and I'll hear from you all more specifically. And thank you guys who were watching here. Nerd Wars Demonetized. Every Thursday night we go crazy. And join the main. You can earn your placement in one of these slots in the main show. If you become a member, join the fam here, the community over in our Discord. I'll have all those links in the description, or check out the comment themes. I'll make sure you have access to them. So thanks so much for watching. I'll have a playlist. The one up here. You can see more. Subscribe, join, all that you can. I appreciate your love. Enjoy the rest of your week. Bye, everybody. See you on Twitch. Twitch.tv/PopcornPlanet right now. You can go catch it up, even if you're not live. See you guys. Karavaton was me. Oh, hey, thanks, David March.
Are we off?
Thanks, David March. We'll be back. Support links, all that stuff down below. Discord, Twitch link, twitch.tv/PopcornPlanet. Support links, everything down in the description. Thanks, everybody. Love you. See you in a few.